Senhores, prestem muita atenção. Enfim surgiu a assessoria do Mamed. Operando pela minha assessoria, agora você tem cartão Black, você tem seguro viagem, você tem sala VIP de aeroporto, você tem plataforma gratuita e tem atendimento prêmio com a minha equipe. E o melhor, agora você conhece o dono. Você sabe exatamente com quem você está operando. Aproveita essa promoção, lê o QR Code aqui, ó, que você vai ter todos esses benefícios. Você vai cair direto na minha equipe, é só falar com o pessoal e já começar a operar com a gente. E lembrando, se você tiver também renda fixa, se você precisar de um banco digital e etc, você pode usar tudo que a gente oferece na assessoria. Vambora, que agora a melhor coisa do mundo é operar onde você conhece quem está por trás. Nós estamos dentro do escritório da Tickmill em Dubai. Nós viemos para o maior evento de Forex e CFDs do mundo.
I think the most important point about trading, especially, is discipline. People break accounts because they break their discipline. So if you have a strategy and a plan, and you can stick to it, and you can keep trading, you will eventually win.
So we started trading 18, so for sure the first 10 years I was losing money like left, right and center. So every time I got a salary, I put it on the trading account, and then, you know, a week later, 2 weeks later, the money was gone.
I do use technical indicators. It allows me as a relatively undisciplined individual to find discipline, and moving averages for me really make a difference because if you follow them, you don't get into trouble.
So I have 3 sons, and Gregor, who's still in the secondary school, so he's trading now. And among the rules that I gave him, 19 or 20 rules. So one of the rules is...
Fala, meu jovem! Vamos conversar mais um episódio, agora totalmente diferente da pressão desse maluco tá, né? Mais um episódio do melhor podcast do mercado financeiro, o melhor para traders, obviamente. E se você é novo aqui no canal, antes de mais nada, para tudo, é algo inédito que você nunca viu na sua vida. Então, para tudo, senta, pega a sua água, clica no botão inscrever-se, deixa o like para nós, porque hoje o podcast tá cheio de fera aqui. Nós estamos dentro do escritório da Tickmill em Dubai. Nós viemos para o maior evento de Forex e CFDs do mundo. E hoje vamos bater um papo com o outro twin, tá? Com a outra metade do Ingmar. Primeiro a gente bateu um papo com o Ingmar, hoje vamos bater um papo com o Ingmar, também está participando aqui com a gente, vamos falar com eles também. O nosso CEO da Tickmill, o Duncan, que falou para nós também, ali um episódio antes do Ingmar, trocou uma ideia com a gente. Não repara minha voz ficando cada vez mais estranha não, porque aqui o calor e frio, enfim. Vai bater um papo com a gente também. Lembrando que o Ingmar é um dos fundadores da Tickmill, junto com o irmão dele, Ingmar. Duncan é o CEO atual da companhia e também é o cara do pregão, ninguém mais, ninguém menos do que ele foi um trader do pregão Viva Voz de Chicago. Então assim, se a gente acha que o pregão Viva Voz do Brasil fazia barulho, tu imagina o pregão Viva Voz de Chicago, né? E estamos aqui também com o CTO, né? CTOzinho.
CEO.
CTO é...
Mas não olha pra mim, eu não sou o CEO.
CTO and CEO. Ok. O Jonathan, que é novo na empresa, novo assim, tem uns 3 meses, 4 meses, é o cara que a gente enche o saco quando when the system shut down and you said, Jonathan, oh my God, the trading view is stopped, né? Aquela loucura. E do meu lado aqui, ele que sempre ajuda a gente aqui, inclusive é o nosso tradutor oficial aqui para muita gente, Bruno Huertas. Obrigado, viu?
Valeu, Vasco.
Tamo junto. Bom, e conosco aqui também tá o Chu, que é um dos sócios também da Tickmill. Então hoje, basicamente, né, a gente tem um bate-papo aqui que promete pra caramba. Acompanha aí. I want to start with one question to Ingmar. And after, the other people will ask you anything. Good asks, okay?
Good questions.
Good questions. All right, so let's go. Ingmar, tell us more about how you got started in the financial market and why you founded Tickmill.
So I mean, we were I think 18 years old with my brother Ingmar, and we thought that trading would be something that, you know, we can make a lot of money with it, because we came from a small village, and you know, you either, you know, stay in the village or you figure out something that, you know, you do outside of the village. And it seemed like trading the financial markets could be something that would get you out of the village. So we started trading 18, and I think the first years we were just losing money, or I can speak about myself. So for sure, the first 10 years I was losing money like left, right and center. So every time I got a salary, then I put it on the trading account, and then a week later, 2 weeks later, the money was gone. So of course there were like some good moments as well, but I think the first, I would say 10 years were really tough. And I remember that at the university as well, so people were asking that, why are you always looking at the stupid charts when you could just do something with friends outside? But, when I got my first trading job, then I had to, after the interviews, all the candidates were given a trading account. So all the top candidates had to trade for 1 month. And because of me being stupid at looking all of these trading accounts for 10 years, then I actually won this competition among the candidates. And this was one of the reasons why I was elected to, run a brokerage department for one firm. And then later on, so I think it was like summer of 2011, where one of the friends asked that, hey, Ingmar, you were running brokerage for one company. Why don't you start your own firm with friends and family and so forth? And this one question in the middle of, I think it was July 2011, this one question just randomly popped up, and this triggered all of the events that followed. So we started thinking that, we actually know a lot about financial markets. And because I had experience running a brokerage department for one other firm, then it felt that we can actually do it. And as long as you do small steps every day, then ultimately you figure out how to, open a company, open bank accounts, open liquidity relationships, integrate with trading platforms and so forth. And eventually we got to the place that we were able to open the company. Yeah, so that was it. Yeah.
Now I wanna make a question to Duncan. Como vocês sabem, gente, o Duncan, ele é um trader que, cara, já operou no pregão Voz de Chicago, um cara que tem bastante experiência de mercado. No último podcast vocês vão ver que ele opera de uma forma muito simples, é bem tranquila a forma como ele opera. E o que faz a gente acreditar cada vez mais que o simples de fato é o que funciona, né? E eu vou perguntar para ele o seguinte, né? Por que ele acredita que a maioria dos traders quebram as suas contas, beleza? So, Duncan, why do you believe that most traders break their accounts?
I think the most important point about trading, especially as a individual, is discipline.
Okay.
People break accounts because they break their discipline. So if you have a strategy and a plan, and you can stick to it for a period of time, and you will go through periods where you will make money or lose money, but over time, if you can keep in that environment and you can keep trading, you will eventually win. But if you break a rule or break some sort of process that you've already decided to operate in, then you're going to have a few problems. And that's where people actually end up falling out or falling over. So discipline, strategy keeps you in the game.
Right. Simple as that, né? Tão simples quanto isso. O meu amigo João Vitor quer fazer uma boa pergunta. Manda bala. Ele tá mostrando pra mim aqui a pergunta que ele vai fazer. Se ele pode fazer essa pergunta, pode. Essa é maravilhosa, tá? Mas acho que ele respondeu ela agora, né? Mais ou menos. Mas pode fazer ela. Acho que é uma boa.
Do you believe that the trader's routine and discipline need to happen in his personal life as well?
So I think everything that we do in our life is affected by our personal life, our relationships, how we're doing at work. So training in that sense is definitely not like immune, that if you have bad relationships or some bad incidents in your personal life or at home, that it somehow would not be affected. So definitely, I think as balanced as possible you are, the better are actually the results, not just in trading, but also in your personal life. And so I would definitely not trade on Friday evening when you have had maybe a few drinks with your buddies and the US markets are still open, and you see that maybe it's a good time to trade. So it necessarily doesn't have to be that you shouldn't be trading that when you feel bad, but you also shouldn't be trading when you are together with friends, or you are focused on doing something that is really enjoyable and you're happy. And even though Ilmar used to trade a lot when he was living in Tarifa in Spain. So he was windsurfing during the day, and then in the evening he was trading. And but that was his moment, and I think he had actually balance at the time. So his life was fully in balance.
Meu nome é Gustavo Barbosa, eu moro atualmente no Reino Unido. Gostaria de fazer uma pergunta para o Inca. Ele falou que ele perdeu durante 10 anos no trade, mas ele continuou permanecendo no trade e acreditando nisso. Então, o que fez ele acreditar que ele poderia ganhar dinheiro? So, my question is for Inca. Did you say this, you lose for 10 years? And what is the thing you keep continuing the trading and believe in this? Because a lot of people's leaving the trading for the short time, and what you see, you keep going.
So I really like this question, and because I remember this 10 years was some parts of it were extremely difficult, because I remember there was one Christmas where I had huge margin calls. And then I remember New Year's Eve when there were margin calls. And so oftentimes when the people around you had really good moments, they were celebrating something, then you were involved in some major financial crisis in your personal life, for example. But I guess this 10 years was with its own ups and downs, meaning that when you make a couple of mistakes, then you realize that, okay, these were the particular mistakes. And if I avoid these mistakes, then possibly next time I will be more successful. So I think it was just some sort of fascination about financial markets and gaining financial freedom and so forth, because you could also ask like musicians that why they study so hard to play a piano, but it's something that they genuinely like. So and I only realized later when I started working in the brokerage space that this 10 years was almost like a test for me. That had I failed at any given point during this 10 years and just chosen to stop trading, then whatever followed would not have actually come by. So and oftentimes later as well, so when I have some tough times in business or in personal life, then I always think that the next day or next year things will improve, and this is just a test. It's also with building startups. So I really liked one comment what I heard from one business owner that so that working with startups or building a startup is almost like eating glass. It's that after a while you start liking the taste of your own blood, and this is oftentimes what I've actually felt that the things that I'm building or the difficulties that I have in terms of building stuff, it's almost that you want to hurt yourself. That sometimes you ask, why after these and these losses I'm still trading, or why after having months and months difficulties in terms of building a business I'm still doing it. But I think it's just a character that my mother used to say that my mother's friends used to tell her that you have built a family of workaholics, that we just like to work and we don't expect that everything is so easy, and you just have to wake up every day and try to be better than yesterday and try to do at least some tasks, So, and with strategies as well. So what was really interesting is that what many people don't think is that if some parts of your strategy is consistently failing, then what we realize at some stage is that if one particular strategy is constantly making losses, then what if we turn the entire strategy around? So if you buy, so for example, for 1 year in a row, you buy certain financial assets at a certain point and you seem to be ending up in losses all the time, then what if you actually turn it upside down? So the fact that you are losing does not really mean that you should stop. You could just reverse it, and the same losing strategy would suddenly become a profitable strategy. But you can only achieve it when you continue the process. And I think with startups is as well that, you need to stay in the game. So it's both with building businesses or trading. As long as you're able to stay in the game, you will eventually figure it out. And in my case, with some of the strategies, it might have taken 10 years. But at the end, I figured something out. And I think Ingmar can say the same thing, that we made most of our money actually not with trading, but by building trading related businesses. But we would not have been able to build trading related businesses if we would not have been so fixated about trading. So that's like a huge difference when you compare us with other firms, because with many other firms, founders are almost proud of the fact that they have never traded, but they have built this great trading company. But oftentimes, many of these companies actually fail because the founder or the manager is not genuinely interested about trading. Whereas with us, I mean, we can talk about trading for hours or days.
I think one point that Ingmar sort of missed is one of the reasons why a lot of businesses succeed or fail is the tenacity. So the fact that, they were tenacious enough and, kept going at it for 10 years itself shows that they were built to try and make things succeed. Rather than, most startups fail. In the first year, some in the second, some last about 5 years. But it's only a few that actually succeed beyond that. And that's one of the reasons why. It's the tenacity and the passion to make it happen. So I think that's the part which, if there was a message, that was the message to come across.
Eu sou Maruá, do Brasil, da Sala do Rudá e do Vasco e da mentoria do Vasco. A minha pergunta é pro Ingmar, que eu vou perguntar para ele o que ele considera um gerenciamento de risco saudável e o percentual do capital que ele faz por operação. Ingmar, what do you consider healthy risk management, and what percentage of your capital is allocated per trade?
I really like that question because so I have 3 sons, and Gregor, who's still in the secondary school, so he's trading now, and I had him trading for about a year, and he just lost almost all of the money on one of the trading accounts. It was a small account. It was like 1,000 Swiss francs. So, and the real life example is that I created a new account for him now. It's a live account. And I put 10,000 Swiss francs on this account. And I printed out some of the rules as well that he should follow when he's trading on that account. And I told him at the beginning that, okay, the account, as you see, is 10,000 Swiss francs. Every position that you open there should not be bigger than 500 francs. So this is like a real life example. And among the rules that I gave him, so there were, I think, 19 or 20 rules. So one of the rules is that do not trade against the trend, which is, I mean, it's so simple rule, but almost nobody follows it when they start trading. And the other thing, what I told him, that it's very personal, of course. So I don't use any technical indicators. I mean, I used to have colleagues in the past who had so many technical indicators on the chart that the prices were not even visible on the chart. So you couldn't see where is the price actually. And the reason is that, of course, there are like two schools of thought. Some are fundamental traders, some are technical traders. But in my belief, markets are moved by big money. So these are, in the currency markets, these are central banks. And in equity and other markets, this could be investment funds and so forth. And I can tell you that the people at the Federal Reserve are not definitely looking at the RSI or Bollinger Bands. So if they have a strategy, if they have assets to allocate, allocations to be changed and so forth, they will do it as long as the task is completed. They will not care what is the RSI, Bollinger Bands, MACDs, and so forth. So, which is somewhat different. That I know Ingmar likes some of the indicators like RSIs and so forth. And I don't really care. And the other thing is that I don't really care what anybody thinks about or what is their strategy or what is their view about the markets, because I have sat around the same table with very wealthy investors, very sophisticated traders and so forth. And what I've seen over the years is that as long as there are people, as many there are opinions. And so for some time I had that strategy that I was building a portfolio of bank stocks when the interest rates were zero. And I remember I was in Spain as well a couple of years ago, and I told Ingmar the same strategy. And I remember at the time I was a guest at the office of one large bank, and there were some large clients being invited to share their opinions and express their thoughts about markets. And when I told them that I have this big portfolio of bank stocks, so European bank stocks, then everybody almost started laughing, because why the hell do you have bank stocks when the interest rates are zero and the bank shares are dropping every day? So I had to wait about 1 year. And if you look at any bank stocks today, then you will see that, they have tripled, quadrupled, or moved up tenfold. So it's polite to hear the opinions on everybody, but at the end of the day, it's your money, it's your decisions and so forth. And as with building startups, then also with trading, if you lose the capital, you are no longer in the game. And so I think the allocation, how much you risk with every trade, really depends on personal circumstances. Because if you take Ingmar or myself, so we have well-run, profitable businesses on the sidelines. So if we lose maybe 10% of the trading account, it's not a big deal for us because we have profitable businesses on the sidelines. While when I was, for example, starting in trading, then I didn't have it. And I was just talking to one friend yesterday that I think I really started making good trading decisions when this financial situation of mine was much better than it used to be during my first 10 years. Because if you lose 5 or 10% on the account and you have, you're financially independent, you have a good profitable business, then you almost don't care. So it's like comparing trading to flying a plane. If you fly a jumbo jet at an altitude of 50 meters, then you need to be right all the time, because even if you make a small mistake, you crash and that's the end of it. While when you are at the highest possible altitude, more or less, then if you make a small mistake here, or even if it's a bigger mistake than a small mistake, then you still survive and you can recover. So I think that's a big difference that we made most of our money not from trading, but building trading related companies. And it was then psychologically more easier to withstand maybe more risk and so forth. Yeah, that's a huge difference. Yeah.
Well, may I add?
That's
Sorry. So I think what's quite interesting, it's very interesting what Ingmar is saying. So I also gave my son some money, but it wasn't 10,000 Swiss franc. It was 2,000 Swiss franc. Yeah. But I also gave him some rules, not 20, but about 2. And one of the rules was, don't come to me asking for more money if you lose this all in one go. So rules are good. And to be fair, it's been really interesting to see how people do trade, including younger generations as well. And I think they tend to be quite pragmatic, more pragmatic than I think a lot of people give them credit for. But whereas Ingmar doesn't use technical indicators, I do use technical indicators, but only 1 or 2. And that allows me, and I think it comes back to sort of discipline in a way, and you look at the whole trading environment almost like a religion, but not totally like a religion, but it allows me as a relatively undisciplined individual to find discipline, and I use the discipline within the trading environment. And moving averages for me really make a difference, because if you follow them, like I said, you follow the rules, then you don't get into trouble. And I like the analogy of flying at high altitude, low altitude. You've got to stay in the game. So 10% or 5% at high altitude, you can go multiple times over and keep going. So it's really important that one utilizes those sorts of rules as well. But yeah, a 5% rule on a position. But probably more importantly, if you've got a position and you are happy sleeping with that position, you will do so much better than going for it and hoping. And if you hope, it's going to go wrong.
yeah.
There is gold in this conversation.
Olá, meu nome é Igor Santos, moro no Canadá, sou arquiteto de TI e sou da Sala internacional do Mundial e da mentoria do Vasco. A pergunta que eu vou fazer é para o Duncan. No começo do vídeo ele falou sobre encontrar a sua disciplina e a estratégia, e eu quero fazer a pergunta para ele em que momento, mesmo quando o trader é iniciante ou intermediário, quando ele achou essas duas, disciplina e estratégia, ele consegue perder mais o medo e gradativamente aumentar seus lotes. First, nice to meet you. I have a question for you. Because at the beginning of the video, you told to us the trader needs be due to qualities. The first one is discipline, and the second one, find a good strategy for this. So what should be the advice to the beginners and the intermediate traders to find already the discipline and a good strategy, but have some fears because of the past, broke some accounts, but it's not have the courage to increase your size or lots for some assets?
Very good to meet you too. I think it's, if you break it down into a couple of elements, yeah. First of all, you really want to find a product, and it could be a number of different instruments that you have an affinity, you like to trade, yeah? If you're talking about one, just an index product, for instance, yeah? Understand how that index works. So the S&P 500, it's 500 constituents, but it's weighted in a way that will push the market depending on the prices of various stocks. So if you understand those elements, you understand the index, you then try and create a strategy, and it can be any strategy. You think on a Monday, I want to buy it. On a Friday, I want to sell it. But irrespective of the actual strategy, test the strategy. And once you test it and it works, on Monday, it's going up. On Friday, suddenly it goes down. And you can do that over time. It's a perfectly reasonable strategy. So, and this is what I was saying to Ingmar, for me or other people, is using some sort of indicator, like a moving average, allows me to go, okay, midday, where is the market trading? Or even actually on the open of the S&P market, in Chicago. What is happening there on a 1 minute bar, on a 5 minute bar, on a 15-minute bar, if that's how I want to trade it. And if I have the facility to be able to back test how that moving average works, I can do multiple testing. And I'm not a genius, but if the computer says yes, then you have a percentage chance that actually things may work out. But it also allows you to get in and get out and be permanently in the market, depending on how you want to trade that. So for me, that sort of discipline with the strategy is a classic way of actually maintaining some sort of equilibrium within a trading environment.
If I may add something, then I would definitely recommend having a focus on the products that you trade, so that the products become almost like your friends, whose positives and negatives, because we are all human beings, and there is no way you can possibly analyze all of the markets, or if you trade stocks, for example, you can know the finances of all of the stocks and so forth. And I think the experience comes over time, that you start seeing that with some of the instruments you are doing well, with some of the instruments you are not doing well. So stick to the instruments that you feel comfortable with and you seem to be understanding how they are behaving. Like myself, for example, so I told just to my son Gregor that who was asking about natural gas. That no matter what, don't ever trade natural gas, because it's, in my personal opinion, it's highly manipulated market by the biggest industry participants. And whether you use technical analysis or fundamental analysis, it doesn't matter, because a few parties, around the world decide pretty much where the price is going. And as long as you're not sitting in the same room with them, then you might as well just buy a lottery ticket, because you don't really know what's going to happen there.
If I might just add to what both Duncan and Ingmar have just said, and just an answer to your question about, where you see risks and where you've had, failures in the past. I think one of the analogies you can look at is fighter pilots. Now, what Ingmar was saying, you need to make the market your friend. I mean, the fighter pilot literally lives with their plane. Yeah. They know the plane inside out. They understand the machine. And the other thing is they go to the extreme risks. They can fly at very low altitudes. They can fly at high altitudes, extreme pace. Mm-hmm. And going back to the word discipline, sure, they are very highly disciplined.
The first thing.
So they're disciplined. They know who they're dealing with, and that's why they're generally successful. And if I may add, they're generally very successful traders as well. So I think that should sort of give you a life lesson. That just adding to what Duncan and Ingmar have just said.
Meu nome é Carlos Giacomini, faço parte da Sala Internacional e eu quero fazer uma pergunta relacionada a quando foi que eles tomaram a decisão, quando foi o ponto que eles disseram eu só vou viver de trade, porque eles também tinham um trabalho, também tinham uma empresa onde eles conseguiam fazer dinheiro e em certo momento eles decidiram fazer só trade. E eu quero saber como foi essa decisão, o que eles olharam, se eles olharam, eu quero ter esse número e aí então eu vou só fazer trade, como foi isso? So, my question is, so as most of us here, you had a job at the beginning, you were working, you had profits from another source, not from trading when you started. And then at some stage, you decide that you're going to live for trading. You're going to live only with the trading profits, or you're going to only trading. And I would like to know, how was that decision? Did you look at the number? Like I say, if I have this amount of money in my account, I can only trading, and that profit will be enough for me to live and grow my money, or how was that decision?
Out of all the questions now that have been asked, this is my favorite question, because this is a real life situation. So I told you that we started trading when we were like 18 years old. So from really the 1997, and a little less actually than 10 years later. So we figured out some of the strategies that we actually liked the most and that were profitable. And so Ingmar at the time, he was living in Tarifa in Spain. He was windsurfing, he was trading, he was having parties. So it was fun life. And at the same time, so it was 2006. So we started trading 1997, 2006, June. No, actually, wait. So it was not 2006, so it was 2008. 2008, June, I resigned from my last job. I have from June 2008 never worked for anybody else. The grass was never greener. I played tennis at the time. I went to play tennis twice a day. I went to play tennis in the morning. I went to play tennis somewhere in the evening. In the evenings, we were also trading the US market and so forth. Happy. I was never happier. And if you put the dates together now, so June 2008, financial crisis took place in 2008 as well. So from June 2008 up until October 2008, I was really happy, playing tennis, traveling, everything. And then, so our birthday with Ingmar is 15th of October. And on that day, our girlfriends had organized a surprise birthday party. And I think on that day we lost like 30 or 40% of everything. And, can you imagine you have like 200 people in the room, everybody's celebrating, champagne, cakes, the band, and you are constantly looking on your phone and figuring out, okay, have I lost now 10%, 20%, 30%? And not only did we lose a lot of money at the time, but some of the strategies that were working well since like 2005, 6, and 7, they no longer worked anymore. Because when the financial crisis happened and the banks came in, so central banks came in and so forth, so the dynamics of the markets completely changed. And so for some years, of course, I still didn't work for anybody. I made some money, from once in a while, so we were still living on the base of our own capital, but it was super difficult, especially because some of the strategies no longer worked. And it was super difficult times, because you have family, you have, all these expenses and the capital, at least what I had at the time, I figured out that unless I take huge risks, there is no way that I can increase the capital that much that I can just live on the profits. So I realized that, okay, we have to do something. And when in 2011, one friend just randomly asked that, hey, but you work for a brokerage firm. Why don't you just launch your own brokerage firm? That one question really triggered everything. And I think, so Ingmar and myself, we put everything really to launch the company. And we knew that if we don't make it within 12 to 18 months, I have to update my CV and go back looking for a job. So that's a real life story.
Duncan, what insights did the Chicago Exchange or CME bring to your career?
So I was about 22, 23 when I went over to Chicago. And I'd previously worked on some of the exchanges in the UK. But Chicago was the place to be. But as an experience, it's better to look at it from outside the pit than from inside. And you understand immediately what you're good at and what you're not good at. And I certainly wasn't good at being in the pit. These guys, they were huge. They were brutes. Fast, sharp. Being on the outside, you could see these guys at work. It was insane. The noise was incredible. The buzz was amazing. But if you're trading as a local on the exchange, you could almost do anything. But you also saw people make fortunes overnight and lose fortunes overnight. And I think from Ingmar's experience, watching people lose money is pretty brutal to see, because they had to get themselves up again the following day and start all over again. And many people did, but it was a small percentage that actually were able to continue to do that. But you can't do that forever. And many people actually burnt out. And you would also see individuals that would save up their money. They would get family and friends to back them. And even some people in the pit would back them. And then they would go in and everything was great and it would be brilliant for a little bit of time. And suddenly something would happen again. Overnight. Back to the day job again. So you were watching people live dreams and having those dreams taken away from them. For me, I always wanted to be on the outside looking in, not on the inside. But I think it shaped my trading experiences as well, because you realize it's the altitude analogy. You want to have as many shots as you possibly can at continuing this process. You blow it all in one go, it's all over. And it's doubly hard to get back again. So, it's those sort of experiences were it was slightly life-changing for me because I knew what I couldn't do, B, I knew what I wanted to do, and then C, trying to put that into action. And, I'm here now to sort of live the tale, I suppose. But I've never risked too much, but I've never risked too little either. So you've got to find a balance. And once you find that balance, I think life then, it sort of becomes a lot easier.
Bom, e agora eu vou fazer uma pergunta pro Jonathan. O Jonathan, ele é o CTO da Tickmill, né? Eu costumo dizer que nas corretoras, um dos piores lugares para você estar corretora, plataforma, bolsa, tudo que envolve, né, sistemas que são atinentes ao dinheiro, ao nosso dinheiro, deve ser uma das piores posições para se estar, né? Porque esse negócio, uma hora ou outra, vai parar. A sua plataforma, uma hora ou outra, ela vai parar. Esses dias, vamos falar de Bolsa Brasil. O índice futuro ficou 40 minutos sem funcionar.
Por causa da B3?
Por causa da B3. Parou.
Jura?
Parou tudo. Ficou 40 minutos. E aí, as plataformas também vão parar de funcionar hora ou outra. Vai ter um problema de sistema. Vai acontecer. E é algo que eu vejo que a maioria de nós não está preparado. Porque, apesar de, um dia vai acontecer, acontece poucas vezes. Mas acontece. E aí, eu vou perguntar para ele o seguinte, o que ele acha que o trader deveria fazer, né, para ele poder se proteger da melhor forma possível disso? Tudo bem que não dá para evitar, mas já que não dá para evitar, como é que eu faço para poder eventualmente mitigar isso? Beleza? Então, vou perguntar para ele. Jonathan, I'd like to ask you, as Tickmill CTO, how do you think traders can protect themselves from technological issues with platforms and systems that might arise at some point? For example, a backup on a phone, a power outage, etc. What do you think about it?
Hi. So I guess it's two parts. Part of it is making sure that you, on your own end, have the correct network. Can be like a backup cellular connection, your own internet connection, backup power generators, or just having a friend or a neighbor you can pop over in case of intensive day trading or something. And the other part is, of course, on us to make sure that the platform is stable, reliable. We have the correct safeguards. We have failovers, the disaster recovery scenarios, BCP, business continuation plans, to make sure that we are ready to support our customers, regardless the tool they're using, to make sure they have backups, access to their funds, and don't get suddenly stuck in case of any emergency. So we're working on our part. We're creating more redundancies, more systems, more available tools. We have a great support team available, which gets compliments every day. But on your own end, you need to be sure that you have the basic foundation, a laptop, some access to something, network communication, because some regions in the world, the network isn't stable. If you're aware of this, you need to have a backup plan for this.
Okay. He told that the Brazilian stock exchange stopped for 45 minutes, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Or 1 month.
1 month. 1 month.
There are some regions in Brazil, I know, have lack of data connection for 25% of the year sometimes, some regions in Brazil. So if you live there, you have a serious issue.
Yeah.
You need to be very supportive. Have yourself with limits as well.
As a trader, if you don't have stop losses and you're living in the area where you have 35% outage, you might as well walk out without your pants on.
For me, your position is the most complex in the company. It's bad.
And for us as well.
It's complex. Because when we talk about systems, we are talking about trader. Trader is an anxious and sits in the desk and said, "Oh, okay, let me see." And 1 minute after, the platform stop and stay. Hey, Bruno, what's going on, Bruno?
I wake up in the morning.
I need to do a trade. I need to open a position. It's nothing happened, but in his head, it's like, oh my God, I'm lost an opportunity, and also, it's. I think really the CTO, the systems, this technology are fantastic. I'm in my house. I'm in home in Brazil, in São Paulo, opening a trade in a server of I don't know where is this server. So it's fantastic, and it's a big responsibility, big. So thank you for your service.
Then
We need it so much. Yeah.
Man, you don't need to know where the servers are. You need to get 100% responsiveness and stability. And this is our role.
So very good.
I would like to know if you still trading these days, and when was the last time you opened a position?
Why does he have the best questions all the time?
Thank you very much.
Yes, I am still trading, yes. And so my last trade was, let me think. Last trade was, actually, it was, let me think now.
Hard question.
You're doing many.
Don't tell her you're shorting gold.
Or Nasdaq.
So the last trade was going long Intel. But at the same time, so also before that, so I went long US 10-year futures. And so my trading these days is, I would say it's like midterm trading in that sense that I trade once or twice a month. Probably one of the reasons is that I simply don't have as much time anymore. And secondly, I think it's actually better if you trade less, but you're more confident about these trades. Yeah.
Yes. Nasdaq 2.5 hours ago. 25 pips profit.
Agora vamos fazer com eles um bate-bola jogo rápido, tá? Então, eu vou fazer uma, o Ingmar responde, a outra o Duncan vai responder, beleza? Explica isso para eles.
He will ask a question, and one question is for Ingmar, very fast. The second question, Duncan. The third question, Ingmar, and it goes one time.
Yeah. Yeah. Without thinking.
Without thinking.
Or just think a little. Okay? So let's go. What's your favorite asset in the international market?
Treasuries.
Okay.
What do you say?
Treasuries.
This. Cocoa.
Right. Do you trade with the trend or against the trend?
With the trend.
With, but sometimes without.
Okay. Sometimes. Don't look at me. Sometimes. What? What's your favorite time of day to trade?
So US session at around 9 o'clock in the evening, Swiss time.
Okay.
US session opening of the main market around 2:30 US time.
Right. So, what's your biggest loss at the market?
Millions.
What the asset? Gold?
Stock.
Okay. Duncan?
Not millions.
No millions. Oh, that's very good. Do you stick to a fixed setup or do you adapt to the market?
You mean platforms?
No. Isso. The trading setup. It's ever the same or you change
You mean how the platform looks like, or
strategies? Yeah.
it is constantly evolving. It really depends on the markets.
Right.
There is no fixed setup.
Perfect.
Yeah, some strategies change over time, but mainly moving average,
All right.
5 and 20.
5 and 20.
That's worked over the last 25 years.
Oh, perfect. How do you feel about a sideways market?
I like sideways market because it's probably the best time to enter the market. But the only negative is that you just have to be patient and wait.
Right. And Duncan?
Sideways markets for trend following is not great. But if you overlay that with some sort of option strategy, you might be able to stay in the market for a little bit longer than you wish for.
Right.
What sideways market?
Mercado lateral.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Flat.
Flat. Yeah. Flat market.
As a broker, we hate.
Yeah.
As trader, that's one.
Yeah.
Traders also hate. Yeah. No volatility, no trade.
When you see the perfect chart setup, does your heart race or hesitate?
What does it end up?
When you see the perfect chart, the perfect entry price, the perfect entry signal, does your heart accelerate or you feel peace?
I think the heart is actually not so much involved. I trade on the basis of eventually. So eventually, I place a trade when something in my subconscious tells me that it is the best moment now. And have in mind that so I trade my position generally are like 1 or 2 years. So I don't jump in and out. And the example that I gave you before that I bought bank shares, I had to wait about a year before things even started moving.
Right.
The whole time I was just sitting there and I was constantly thinking whether I should actually exit and look elsewhere. But I just stuck with the trade and eventually it was a really good trade.
Perfect.
For me, yes, it's a beautiful moment when it all comes together. But actually, one should take that out of the process completely. But when it does happen, it's quite nice.
Perfect.
I think so. What I've realized over the years, at least in my personal case, is that when I get too excited or I'm too confident, then it's almost a signal not to do anything.
Right.
So because you're emotionally too involved. So you rather need to be very calm and confident and not so much emotional.
Perfect. All right. Have you ever dreamed about candles?
I think I've seen charts in my dreams since 1997.
Right.
I see charts all the time.
Right. All right. Duncan?
No, I haven't.
No. Wow. If the market were a person, would it be your lover or your villain?
Neither.
No, I like it. Yeah, that's right.
Lover.
A lover, right? What's the most creative excuse you have given to justify a loss? A cara do Jonathan é a melhor. A cara do Jonathan é a melhor.
Usually, I saw with Tickmill as well at the beginning that usually some really bad things happen when you are, for example, about to board a plane from Hong Kong to
San Francisco
back to Switzerland. That I remember once our servers crashed right before I was about to board the plane from Hong Kong back home. And so I can't give anything creative rather than you just don't have the ability to act. And something happens while you would be almost incapable of doing anything about it anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
The weather.
The weather.
Why did it rain?
Eu amo. Eu não vou traduzir, não, mas eu amo as respostas do Duncan. É muito bom, eu concordo com todas. So, that's right. É maravilhoso. So, the last. What would be the title of the movie about your trading life?
I know that. Well, you know.
You know, so.
American mountains.
All right.
Candle in the wind.
Candle in the Very good, very good. So, pessoal, é isso, né? Chegamos aqui ao final do episódio. Vocês estão vendo que esse é um episódio totalmente diferente. A gente não tem cenas aqui. Nós não temos, spots de luz, etc. Estamos fazendo isso com uma câmera, mas é porque eu acho que vale muito a pena a oportunidade de ouvir essas pessoas que estão aqui hoje, tá? Acho que de verdade, acho que deve ter aí... No Brasil, hoje, quase ninguém tá tendo a oportunidade que as pessoas que estão aqui presencialmente, que eu estou tendo aqui principalmente, eu acho que eu sou o que mais aprende aqui. Aprendo com os alunos, aprendo com os mentorados, aprendo com o pessoal da Sala Internacional, aprendo com o Bruno, e aprendo aqui com todo mundo, Jonathan, Duncan, Chu, todo mundo, né? E também, né, gostaria de agradecer aqui a sua audiência. Deixa um comentário aqui, o que você achou do episódio, deixa o like. And for you, thank you so much. For us, for Brazilians, we are very, very, very pleasure.
Obrigado.
Obrigado. É isso, até o próximo episódio. Valeu, tchau, tchau, tamo junto.